when the sharks in Maldives were still waiting for my severance pay as lunch. My dad had already turned his van into a doomsday pantry. That was my third day after being laid off. Then my ex-soldier brother called.
I'm heading to the coast on a mission. Something feels off. Go home right now. Mom and Dad are stockpiling stuff. Once home, check what's missing. Keep an eye on them. Don't open the inn until I return.
My brother works for the Security Bureau, always on top secret missions. Back in 2018, he knew about the pandemic early. But that time, he just told us to wear masks. This time, hearing him talk about hoarding was a first. I instantly knew something serious was coming. Hung up, packed fast, and rushed home. On the train, using my lockdown experience, I made a massive supply list, planning to drag Dad to the market. But when I opened the van door, I was stunned. The 7-seater van was gutted, only 2 seats left. 10 boxes of snail noodles stacked like a pyramid. 50 more of chips and biscuits. Piled taller than me, a 50-kilo nutsack crammed under the seat. So I hugged my luggage, stepping on nuts, legs numb all the way home. When we arrived, a pickup truck was unloading in front of our house. Crates after crates of food. Dad said, "All your favorites." I went to the supermarket myself. The rest, I had the suppliers deliver. That's when I realized, Dad's the true master of hoarding. Our family runs a guest house at the foot of a scenic hill. We live off tourism. It was right before the National Day holiday. The park waived tickets to draw crowds. Everyone in town was stocking up, so our stash didn't look suspicious. After 2 more days of grinding, every guest room was packed to the brim. Instant noodles everywhere. Self-heating meals and canned food. Compressed biscuits stacked against the wall. Another wall filled with rice, flour, and water. Oils, sauces, and tea took over the cabinets. In the corner, 2 old freezers. Dad added 3 even bigger ones. A quick glance. 2 slabs of beef, 100 kilos. Piles of chicken, ducks, and random meats. Small freezers filled with frozen staples. Buns, dumplings, rice balls. Even skewers and chicken strips. All frozen solid. Potatoes in one corner. Carrots and sweet potatoes. Easily over 100 kilos. Another area stacked with apples and oranges. Above me, half the room hung with cured meats. Dried bamboo shoots, noodles, and more. For daily supplies, we cleared a whole room. Toilet paper and pads stacked to the ceiling. Shampoo and body wash. Enough to open a store. Loungewear and jackets, 88 sets each. And masks, alcohol and iodine, vitamins and calcium. 80 boxes of every medicine you could buy. For health's sake, Dad added grains and cereals, black sesame paste, and instant soy milk powder. Then Granny Zhang from next door heard I was back. She brought dried herbs she'd foraged. She and Grandpa Zhang were close neighbors of ours. Their son made money from a guest house years ago and moved to the city. But the old couple hated city life, so they stayed in the mountains, knowing they wouldn't stock much. Dad and I bought extra and carried it to their place. It should last them for at least 1.5 years. Mom endured our shopping madness, watching truck after truck unload, shaking her head like God had given up on us. Mom finally snapped.
Do you have brains for anything but breathing? Hoard this much and still won't let me open? Forget the pandemic. Even zombies would call you brainless and skip eating you.
Her words proved prophetic. On the eve of National Day, videos of zombie bites blew up in our groups. The filmer, a senior I hadn't spoken to in 3 years, swore it happened in Xiamen, right under her building. SWAT even showed up. Soon people claimed it was a short skit. Fake effects for sure. But I started to panic. Coastline plus SWAT. I thought of my brother's warning. Is the world really ending? Hands shaking, I called him. Cold, robotic, busy tone again. On missions, he always vanishes. I searched zombie bites like crazy. That site was full of similar clips. Real or fake, unclear. Outbreaks keep flaring. I urged everyone to stock up. After posting in the group, I rushed to find Dad. If it's really zombies, supplies aren't enough. The house must be a fortress. Swap the shutter for a bank vault. Blast-proof door. Replace the scenic windows with bulletproof glass. Add one-way privacy film. And weapons, if zombies roam. We need self-defense. Not just from zombies. From desperate people. Stun batons first. Then a few machetes. Military-grade stuff. Also a drone to scout outside. Dad's old hunting bow. Have him dig it out. Get extra arrowheads. Most vital, water and power. The spring may be contaminated. We need big jugs of water. And to filter setups. Mountain power is unstable. Blackouts are common. For business, almost every house added solar. But it's only for emergencies. Capacity won't last. Ours might even be broken. Dad needs to check. While he checked, I shared my theory. He was clearly stunned. Never reads zombie novels or watches them. The only thing he knows is Plants vs. Zombies.
So buy some pea shooters?
That reminded me. We need seeds. Fertilizer, potting mix. Apocalypse stories all say. Zombies break out, fight outside, or farm inside. On the next run, I buckled Dad into shotgun. Played Train to Bizon at 2x. Plus those morning clips. To give him a basic idea. I added we run a guest house anyway. And or no N. Fortifying still helps. To my surprise, he didn't reject it as nonsense. Beyond his worldview, or call it superstition, handshaking, he asked, "Your brother, is he out there fighting this?" My hands trembled on the wheel. A heavy dread sank in. I nodded yes. So we must protect ourselves. So he won't worry. And when he wins, he must find home. All that day, Dad moved on fast forward. The usually frugal man barked, "Family first, urgent." He turned our home into a fortress. And the wildest part, he actually convinced Mom, after 3 days of sulking, to buy laying hens and a rooster. And keep them on the roof. He lined it tight with soundproof foam. National Day. The whole village hustled for tourists and cash. Only our house was under renovation. A young couple asked if we had rooms. I was about to decline, upgrading, sorry. When our nemesis across the way, Wang Fei, got snarky.
Who'd stay in a place mid-Reno? Aren't you afraid of formaldehyde?
Normally Dad would clap back, but today he ignored her, rushing to finish his work. By the time we were done, it was near 11. Outside, lights and banners. Festive and loud. Mom served 10 dishes and a soup. Raised her glass, rare holiday.
We rest too. Eat well, sleep well. Even if it's doomsday, we feast.
With the mood set, I shut the doors and windows. Fired up the projector The Walking Dead. Call it immersive vibes. One episode in, Mom shut it off.
2 gory kills my appetite.
But even with the video off, the roaring didn't stop.
Voices still there.
It's coming from outside.
Mom had barely said it when Dad and I dashed to the window. We yanked open the blackout curtains. The cheerful street had turned to chaos. Screams and running everywhere. The TV scene was real. Under the dim streetlights, stiff-bodied zombies chased people fleeing for their lives. In just minutes, dozens appeared. A strong man was shoved down. A skinny female zombie leapt on him, gnawing his face like mad. He screamed and pushed, but couldn't move her at all. What's wrong with these people? I yanked the curtains shut, then ran for the door.
Shang, you can't go.
Dad grabbed me, face stern.
If a grown man Can't push off a smaller woman. What can you do? In chaos, we can only protect ourselves. We can't save others.
He'd misread me. Relax, Dad. I'm just checking the front door. He exhaled.
I'll go with, but as we hit the stairs,
A rapid pounding at the gate.
Help! Open up! Please.
Help, we froze on the spot. The wall monitor showed. A woman collapsed at our door. A zombie chewing her calf. She kicked and kicked, crying in utter despair. Dad yanked me behind him. Dad bolted the door. Seconds later, she went still. Then suddenly jerked her head up, sprang to her feet, and lunged at the fleeing crowd. It really is zombies. Hands shaking, I scrubbed the footage. Saw 10:51 p.m. A black car arrived. It started everything. The car lost control and hit the stone stele. Bloodied people crawled out. A good Samaritan helped. Got his neck bitten. Others rushed in to save him. And the mutated one bit them too. Chaos spread like wildfire.
could they be doing some role play?
Abandon fantasy. Face reality. Check doors and windows. Stock water supplies. Recheck every door and window. Once it's safe, I open Weibo to search for updates. The moment it loaded, feeds full of zombie virus. Almost the whole country. I looked at the horror outside and the exploding posts online and knew it was bad. Many begged for help online, but we all knew it was useless. If it were a disaster, rescue would come. But this was doomsday. That night Dad stayed on watch, sleepless. I couldn't sleep either, scrolling in bed. At 3 a.m., I heard Mom quietly crying. She was worried about my brother. Who wouldn't be? I watched the zombies grow in number. Helpless, I kept texting my brother, knowing I might never get a reply. Near dawn, I finally dozed off. Past 7, shouting woke me. I cracked the curtain and gasped. The real end times have no movie slow-mo. In harsh sunlight, staggering figures wore last week's trendy hoodies. In the road lay Auntie Wong, who walked her dog yesterday. My legs went weak. I nearly fell.
Eat something first.
Mom brought bread, ham and milk. Dark circles under her eyes. She hadn't slept either. What's outside? I took Mill to the window. Dad pulled the curtain halfway, with one-way film. No one could see us.
They're price gouging. Rooms, $10,000 a day. Meals, $5,000 per head. No pay, you're out.
Wang Fei's always been shady. Since moving here 4 years ago, she's fleeced guests and filmed them. Profiting off disaster, no surprise.
Listen up, paupers. Pay within 1 hour. Or get tossed to the zombies. Don't waste my food.
Next target might be us.
My dad.
No guests. Warehouse full. In a scene like this, we stand out most.
But what can we do? It's a tiny village. Everyone sees. When we stocked up, who thought zombies were real? Even if we did, short term, nowhere safer than home. Our doors and windows are double reinforced. Zombies can take a number. Don't worry. I soothed them. Sleep properly. We'll face tomorrow then. While they rested, I downloaded tons of movies, novels, and offline games. In Doomsday, you die of hunger or boredom, pick one. At dusk, I quietly launched the drone. The 30-plus homes in our village now had fewer than mahjong tables alive. The only road down the mountain was jammed like rush hour, bumper to bumper with cars fleeing. Totally sealed. Good news. No new zombies can get in. Bad news, we can't get out either. The next day, the news officially announced a new virus. They urged everyone to stock up and stay home. Pap and Plow were said to be mobilized. Rescue hotlines were published. They declared we would defeat the virus and told us to stay confident. But anyone could see, things looked grim. In just one day, almost every site crashed. Amid the arguments drifting from across the street, I was about to launch the drone when a guy across the way tossed his backpack out the window. It hit the ground with a loud thud, drawing several zombies. Day 3 of the apocalypse. Rain pouring. Outside, the zombies moved like slow motion. Maybe they'd found a weakness, or couldn't afford the gouged fees. 2 men came out, fully geared up. By their build, 2 men sprinted to where the bag had fallen, fished out a bone cleaver, and charged the next door gate. Then I realized it was the same guy who tossed the bag. Wang Fei would never allow weapons out, so the bag hid their blades and let them slip out unseen. Easier to enter today, and seize that house as a base. We crowded the window, like watching a thriller, as they moved in sync. In lockdown. An hour and a half later, their bloody figures flashed at a second-floor window, still sweeping the floors. Night fell. They tossed things out the window and cheered loudly. They'd made it.
Impressive kids.
Dad murmured, eyes distant. I knew he was thinking of my brother. Still, those two lifted our spirits. Mom and Dad perked up. Cooking, exercising, gaming. That night rain turned to blizzard. Bitterly cold. And the power went out. We didn't dare waste the solar reserve, so we huddled with hot bottles and quilts. By dawn, the snow stopped. The world wide outside. If not for zombies wandering, I think it was a dream. Maybe from cold and icy roads. The zombies slowed again. Other survivors in the village copied those 2 teens and got eaten. The zombies swarmed to them, leaving only a few near us. Seizing the chance, the jerks opposite finally snapped. Wang Fei's crew pressed the young couple, pointing at our house, clearly plotting something bad. Their supplies must be nearly gone. Whatever happens next, don't listen, don't respond, don't help. I drew the curtains to stop my parents watching, afraid they'd soften and let them in. If outsiders with other motives get in, we'll lose control.
Relax, your mom and I have learned a lot these 2 days. We won't act rashly.
Mom made a throat-slitting gesture.
End times. We're no saints.
I couldn't help but laugh. Since the outbreak, our first light moment, it didn't last. Pounding boomed from downstairs. On the monitor, the boy from the couple was axing our door like mad. Dad cursed under his breath, pulled the curtain to check across. They left the girl by their window and sent the boy to smash ours.
Anyone, open up. Help if I go back without food.
They'll kill Win-Win. He pounded the door, eyes darting around. Zombies were already drawing near when we didn't answer. He started hacking at it with a hand axe. The zombies closed in. Grandpa Zhang flung his door open.
Quick, inside.
I saw the boy dash in, and the zombies swarm after. That wooden door wouldn't last 5 minutes.
I was furious. The old man had already carried them a year of food. Why risk death?
Dad paced in panic. Dad grabbed the bow, popped their heads. I sprinted to the kitchen, tied Mom's thawed pork belly to the drone, and strapped on Dad's radio, looping most dazzling folk style. I flew it over the horde. Sound and blood scent instantly lured them after the drone. Dad opened the window. One shot blew a zombie's head. Pumped up, he yelled.
Anyone else try it? I'll pop your mutt head next.
When he shut it, I cheered, so badass. Mom flashed a big thumbs up. After this, we saved Grandpa Zhang's place and scared the local bullies. Might be quiet for a while, but past midnight, their door opened again. Moonlight on the snow. A snaky figure appeared. hauling a bulging pack toward the house opposite ours. He was really going back to save his girlfriend. Love-brained hopeless. Fine, go then. Just don't drag the old couple down again. Near the door. He slipped, face planted in the snow. His fingers hit a pile of bones. He screamed. Two zombies snapped their heads and lurched over. He sprinted to the door, pounding.
Open up. I brought food, let me in. If you won't open, I'll...
Winwin's voice rang from upstairs.
Are you crazy? There are zombies! Open it, do you want me dead?
The zombies pressed closer. When it was clear they wouldn't open, he tossed the food and bolted back to Grandpa Zhang's. Damn. Please don't let those elders soften again. He reached their door, shoved it open. He'd planned ahead after all. It wasn't locked. But where were Grandpa and Grandma? Why hadn't they locked it all this time? Asleep? Or tied up? I never got to find out. Before he could shut it, a swarm of zombies poured in. Horrific screams burst from inside. The girl across wailed, heartrending. Till someone yelled, "One more word and we'll feed you to them." Then the zombies quieted. Next day I told my parents. They were silent for a long time.
Let's just protect ourselves.
At 4 a.m. the following day, I binged shows by the window, wrapped in a quilt. Groggy, I looked up. The door opposite opened. I snapped awake. What are they doing at this hour? I ditched the blurry feed. Went straight to the window. In the moonlight, a thin figure staggered out. Was that Winwin? Did they kick her out too? I just thought that. When music split the night.
What's happening?
What's happening?
My parents rushed out. Lights flared across the way.
Zhang Hao, you said even as a zombie you'd protect me. How can you go back on it? Come out.
Winwin raised her phone, screaming nonstop.
Has she lost her mind? That noise will draw zombies.
Mom was worried sick.
That crazy girl wants to die.
Several men burst out across the way. Under harsh light, she was covered in bruises. Her phone kept looping. Today I want to marry you. She swung a kitchen knife like crazy. A deranged bride seeking revenge. Making Wang Fei's crew retreat. I didn't know if the boy came. But zombies drawn by the racket were already behind her. More and more closed in. Wang Fei's gang ditched the door and fled inside. The girl chased after them, hacking at the door, then vanished under the swarm. Their flimsy door lasted under 3 minutes. Screams and howls mixed together. Blaring music cutting through, drawing every zombie in the village. After that, the village fell silent. Only a few scavenged for supplies. Some returned loaded. Some became food. A month later, only a few homes were still occupied, including ours, and the 2 guys who left early. We kept to ourselves. Never spoke. Until one day, they shouted from the window.
Happy New Year, survivors!
I realized it was already New Year. Mom went for dumplings. Dad called me to the window.
Come look. Did they write something on their window?
From here it's mirrored. But I could read Bluetooth. Bluetooth, do they want to talk? I asked Dad's opinion. Watch first, he said. I turned on Bluetooth. Found a device named after the 2 guys. And renamed mine Jinbao Doghead. Soon a note screenshot came. Happy New Year, Uncle. Trade dumplings for cured meat. I looked up. They were waving cured pork. We weren't short on meat. But on this day, we'd shared dumplings. But I had only one drone. And worried about a trap, I hesitated. Moments later, another image came. No drone, just drop a rope. We'll pick it up.
Let's send it.
Dad softened, seeing my brother's shadow in them. Mom cooked an extra pack, boxed it and lowered it. They were ecstatic. Send up cured meat. Bowing like crazy. The drone can't lift much. 1 box, barely a bite. I sent 2 more. They raised a gold necklace and bracelet.
Uncle Auntie, Big Sis. We've no food left. Only these useless things. Thank you. Once you're full, will you head out?
I replied the same way with a screenshot. Yes, we've no food. We leave at dawn. Their courage truly impressed me. So I shared all the drone intel. Every detail. Back Mountain has fewer zombies. The only road down is jammed. A black Buick has zombies inside. Be careful, first 2 cars are safe. Under Dad's suggestion, we airdropped 3 days of compressed biscuits and ham bread. On departure day, we tossed a stun baton.
If we live, we'll come back.
I quickly piloted the drone, covering them to the village gate, until they got in the car and left. 12 days later, one evening, I heard muffled shouts outside. Like someone calling Dad. I cracked the window, and finally heard clearly.
Brother Leon, do you have antidiarrheals to spare? My boy's in bad shape. We've 2 tubs of instant noodles. I'll trade.
It was Lee Jianan.
Dad said we weren't close, but his sweet kid always called me sis. We couldn't just watch. Within our means, we tied meds and a few eggs, and sent them by drone. The note, keep your noodles. The eggs are fresh. 15 hens on our roof. Lay a few daily. We've stored quite a lot. When the drone returned, it brought seaweed, half a salted fish, and a note. Their food could last months. But no medicine anywhere nearby. Thanks for the help. We did lack seaweed, so we had seaweed egg soup. Then stewed the fish next day. A rare feast in Doomsday. Day 127 of the outbreak. Peach blossoms bloomed. The rooftop hens started brooding. Life felt less bleak. Day 186, a car entered our village. A man in camo leaned from an SUV. One shot dropped a zombie.
Any survivors? We're PLA. We'll take you to a shelter.
They circled the village, shouting on loudspeakers.
Are they real military?
Mom was dubious. Dad shook his head.
Something's off, stay put. Watch what they do.
Here, we need rescue.
It was Lee Jianan's voice. By now, his stash was likely low. We'd sent eggs by drones sometimes, but it was a drop in the bucket. Men in camo shot the zombies blocking the road and drove to Jianan's.
Anyone else at home?
Just me.
He didn't fully trust them, so he came out alone.
Comrade soldiers, how is it outside? Where's the base? When do we leave?
No rush. Stay 2 days. We'll gather other survivors. Pack up. Bring valuables, especially gold.
Are valuables still useful now?
When zombies are gone and order returns, you'll need them.
With that, they all went into his house.
Always saying valuables. Bandits for sure.
It's Doomsday money can't feed you. Or maybe it's calmer outside. A base already built? My guess perked my parents up. Then we hit a snag. What if they searched homes for supplies? We could pretend no one's home. But they had guns. We had bulletproof doors and windows, but who knows their quality? What if they shoot through and rush in? The house shows we live here. No way to hide. We racked our brains, but had no answer. We could only pray. The worst wouldn't happen. 2 hours later, gunshots again.
I gave you all my valuables. Let me go. There are no other survivors here.
Lee Jianan was bound behind his back, dragged like livestock by a rope. Forced to search house by house. Each time they came out, they had more gold jewelry. After 2 houses, they huddled and muttered. One pointed at Wang Fei's place. Moments later, their SUV rolled over zombies toward it. I cracked the window a bit, finally catching their words.
So many zombies at this house. What if the loot won't cover up bullets?
This is the grandest place in the village. Can't be poorer than the last 2.
Outside then, a bandit slowly approached our home.
Anyone inside?
Why is this door locked, this one? Seems to have people. My heart leapt to my throat. My fingers dug into my palm. Legionon sold us out. On the monitor, the brute-faced man bent to check dust on our sill. Then grinned Dad. They've found us. My voice was trembling. Dad patted my shoulder, telling me not to fear.
They won't get in.
Metallic clink sounded outside. They were prying the lock. Mom suddenly dashed to the kitchen, returned gripping a kitchen knife. The woman who complained we hoarded too much now had eyes sharp enough to cut air. Bang, a thunderous hit. The blast door locker bulged.
Such a solid door. There's definitely stash inside.
The robbers cursed outside. In the standoff, Dad shouted,
Lee Jianan, I helped you through hard times, and you bring men to rob us?
Moments later, Legionana's tearful voice.
Brother Lee, I didn't want to. They took my boy.
With no reply inside, it went quiet for seconds. Then the leader drawled,
Listen up in there. Open the door. Or I'll kill the pair. And hang them to bait zombies.
Before he finished, Legionon surged with strength, rammed the man eyeing his son. A gunshot split the air.
Son, run. Brother Lee, don't open up. They have guns.
Legionon screamed toward the night. I watched helplessly as the boy who called me sis fell one step from his door into a zombie's grasp. Time froze in that instant. Even the howl sounded distant. Dad spun up to the attic, came down with a hunting shotgun, his old relic from youth. We thought it died ages ago, old Lee. Are you crazy? They've got rifles. Dad's eyes were blood red.
That kid's only 6.
As we argued, the feed turned eerie. The fallen boy started convulsing. Then, at an impossible angle, snapped upright. His neck tilted grotesquely. Black fluid dribbling from his mouth.
Holy!
The bandits outside fell into chaos. Worse, the gunshot drew more zombies. From every corner they poured, encircling the SUV. The leader was tackled by 3 at once, his screams mixing with tearing flesh, piercing the quiet mountain village. Legionon broke free in the chaos, sprinted to his boy, and pulled him tight into his arms. On the monitor, his last look was a relieved smile. When all finally went quiet, I saw amid the bodies the little boy turned zombie, standing still at our door, head tilted as if listening. In his hand, he still clutched the New Year toy car I'd given him. 5 days later, sure, it was briefly safe. Dad armed up and unsealed the long shut door, ready to clear the corpses outside, worried they'd lure more. Right then, an engine roared in the distance. A jeep crawled up, pucked with bullet holes and blood. When it stopped at our door, my heart nearly stopped. The blood-smeared soldier at the wheel was my missing brother. Bro, I rushed out, but 3 meters away, I slammed to a stop. His uniform was in tatters, and the skin showing, veined airy blue-gray. His sclera had clouded yellow, pupils pinpoints.
Don't come! I'm infected!
His voice was ragged, inhuman. It turned out, he'd worked in a virus lab for years. A serum just made. Then the lab was overrun. Too late to inject himself. He'd been infected, yet rushed at once, back with the last vial. He set the metal case down, carefully on the ground. It clicked crisp.
Only one left. Give it to the state rescue. They should be close.
Black blood leaked from his lips, his body convulsing. Dad raised the shotgun, wavering, hands shaking like leaves.
Dad, Mom, I'm home.
His last look even held a smile. When the shot rang, his lips seemed to move, as if saying sorry. We buried him under the Back Hill peach tree, overlooking the village. That night, as Mom sorted his things, she found a photo on him, Our family last spring festival. Its corners were frayed. 3 months later, a state rescue chopper arrived. Medics with kits went door to door for survivors. We were saved. The vaccine my brother died to bring. We handed it over. Because in this shattered world, some things outrank survival. Like the 6-year-old's innocent smile. And Legionna's final, freed smile. Now the mountain peaches bloom again. Just like the sunset the day my brother left.